Hi guys, welcome back to Digital Dreamer. Today I'll be showing you how to make a brick breaker game. To start, we can delete the scratch cat. We'll create a new sprite. We'll call this bricks. And now what we're going to do is we're going to choose costume. We can call this, look for button 3A or 3B, it doesn't really matter. Then delete this blank costume. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this outline. And now this doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this red. Then I'm going to call this 1. I duplicate this, it's 2. We'll make this orange. So we'll just so that's orange. We're gonna keep doing this until the costume is 6. I'll see you when you're done with all these costumes. Right guys, you should be done with your costumes, and each one should be a different costume, a different color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set things up like this. When the green flag is clicked, we're going to hide this sprite because we're going to be using clones to make all the bricks. Because otherwise we would have to make like 96 different sprites. So when the green flag clicked, we'll hide. Then because this brick is way too big, we'll set the size to 30%, not 130. Then we'll go to X, Y, negative 225, and 113. Then we'll repeat 6 times. And then inside this, we'll put a repeat 16 times so that there will be 6 rows of 16. So we'll put a repeat 16. We want to create clone of ourselves. And then we'll change X by 30. Then we'll go outside of this repeat 16 loop, but we'll stay inside the repeat 6 loop, and then we'll do next costume so that we can go to the next color. Then we'll change Y by negative 18. And then we'll set X right back to negative 225. So what this does is this will hide it, make it smaller, and then it'll go to the corner up here. Then it'll do this 6 times. For every iteration, it'll create clone and then change X by 30 16 times. Then it'll go to the next costume, go down, and then go back to the left side. So, oh, and one more thing that we have to do is when I start as a clone, the clones will still be hidden. We need to make it visible. So we're gonna do when I start as a clone, show. So that's all these the bricks that we're gonna be using. Okay, so you can also just set like a background. We'll call this game. We'll just make it a nice space theme. And now we're done with the spawning code. We'll get our ball. You can go to the choose sprite library or you can create your own. I'm just gonna take the space ball. What we're gonna do now is this. We're going to one green flag clicked. We are going to create a new variable. Score for all sprites. We'll set the score to 0. And then we'll say show. This will make sense when we're implementing the game over functionality. We'll go to X. Zero. And then Y negative 26. So it'll go there. By the way, if your sprite looks a bit cut off like this, what you can do is go to the vector mode. We're gonna set the outline to 0 and then the fill to none. Then just draw a rectangle around the ball. That fixes it for some reason. I don't know why that happens. So that'll make it see the whole thing. We'll also just set the size to 30%. And then we'll point in direction 45 so that it can bounce around, or we'll do 15. And then we'll get a forever loop for our main game loop. What we're gonna do is we're forever gonna move 10 steps, and if we're on the edge, bounce. So here's how it's like. It's just gonna bounce around. Now we're gonna create our paddle. This one we'll paint, and I'll explain why in a minute. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create, this can be whatever color you want. You just have to have 3 different colors in mind. So we'll zoom in. Then we'll draw 3 equally sized bars of slightly different color. So then once you've done one, we'll go to the select tool, hold Alt, and then start dragging, hold Shift 2, then just drag. Then we'll just go right here. Then just just to make sure it's at a nice distance. Then we'll make this one, I'm gonna do blue. Then we're gonna make one more. So well, we're just gonna drag it over there. And then we'll make this a different color. We'll probably make this purple. So as you see, we have a paddle with 3 different colors. These colors are completely up to you, it does not matter. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take them all, then group them. Make sure to center it. So, then we'll move it down here. Okay, now we're in our paddle sprite. We'll do when the green flag is clicked, show. This will again make sense when we're doing the game over. We'll go to X. Zero and negative 173. We'll set the size to 100%. That's good. And now this will be so that we can move it to the right and left. Now, if you want to do WASD, that's fine. I'm just gonna be doing arrow keys. For this, we're gonna put in a change X by block, and then we're gonna put a times block in there. Then we'll get a minus, and then we'll put it inside the times. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to sensing, and then we wanna put this in here, this key space pressed. Then we'll put another one here. Then we'll just put 10 right here. Then we're gonna change space to right arrow if you're doing WASD, D. Then we're gonna change this left arrow, or A. So now as you can see, this can move right, left, right, left. Another thing that you can do is, if you go to motion, you'll see this set X block. We'll set X to mouse X, so that'll let you control it with the mouse. I'm just gonna keep it with the arrow keys. And now we're gonna get one more sprite line. We're just gonna move it down to the bottom. And then now just to make sure it's at the bottom, we'll just move that a bit more down in here. And now we have to set this line to a different color because as you can see the paddle's red. If your paddle's not red, then you don't have to do this step. You can skip to this timestamp. So what I'm gonna do like even if part of it's red, then you have to change the color. So we'll do orange. Orange is yellow. And now let's head back into the ball sprite. So, as you can see here, it's not bouncing on the bricks at all. We need to have it bounce when it hits a brick. So what we're going to do is we'll get an if block. If touching bricks, so that means once touching one of those bricks, then we'll point in direction. Then we'll go to operators, get a plus block, put 170 here. And then on the other side, we'll put direction. So what this will do is it'll go almost the opposite direction, but have a slight angle to it, so that's just not coming straight down at you, just to make the game a bit harder. So as you can see now when I play the game, it's bouncing off all these bricks. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put an if touching color for the paddle. If, so this will be for right in the middle. If we're touching the color, and then we can go in here, use the eyedropper. So if we're touching the color blue, then we'll just point in direction 0, or essentially it'll just go straight up. However, if it's touching the red color, then we'll put it red. So that, because it's on the red, it'll be minus 45, because that's left. And then we'll do the right side, magenta. So that's that. And then you put 45 right here to face towards the right. And then for the game over, we put the line right at the bottom so you can't really see it. It won't be much of a big thing. It just has to be sticking up enough that you can see it if you look closely. So we're going to do if touching line, then we just broadcast. We'll create a new message. Game over. And then we'll hide. And now, so because every single clone will follow what's in the when I receive block, what we're going to do is we're going to do when I receive game over, delete this clone. So this will delete all those bricks. And then the reason we have a show block here is because when we hide, we need it to show when we click the green flag again or when we restart the game. So that's why there's a show there. When I receive the game over, we're gonna hide. Then we're gonna go to the line sprite. And then what we're going to do is when the green flag's clicked, show. And then when I receive the game over, hide. Just make sure the hide and shows in the ball. Yes, it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head to the backdrops. We'll duplicate this backdrop. We'll convert it to vector. You can choose whatever font you want here, whatever color you want. And then we're just going to write game over, or you lose, or whatever you want. So once you have it like that, what we're going to do is we're going to call this game. We're going to call this one game over. So then what you're going to do is when the flag is clicked, switch backdrop to game. When I receive game over, we're going to switch the backdrop to game over. And then here we're also going to stop all. So as you see, when I miss, it'll do the game over thing. So now we need a way to count our points. That's where the score comes in handy. We're going to set this to large here or really whatever you want. Then you can keep it up there. Then we're going to head to our brick sprite. We're going to make the scoring system here. And this one I start as a clone, we'll add a forever loop here. This will do the score counting, and it'll also check if we win or not. So, if we are touching our ball, which is which in this case is our baseball or whatever ball you chose, and then we'll change the score by 1. Then we'll hide the sprite to make it look like it's been broken. Or actually, yeah, we'll hide it. And then if you see there's 6 rows of 16, so 6 times 16, that's 96. So we're gonna do if the score is greater than 95. We're not doing 96 because if we did, then there would be one more brick left. We're gonna do broadcast a new message, you win. Then we'll delete this clone. And then what we're gonna do is, you see here, we're going to do when I receive you in, we're going to hide. And then we're going to do the same in the paddle. When I receive you win, hide. Then in the line sprite, same thing. When I receive you win, hide. And now in the backdrops, we're going to go back to the backdrops and we're going to create another backdrop. We're going to call this you win. Again, the text can be whatever you want as long as it shows that the person won. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to write you won, exclamation mark. We can just center that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, when I receive you win, switch backdrop to you win, and then stop all. Okay, so this last step, which is completely optional, is to add background music. There are many background musics in here. To get these, you can go to loops, and then you can do stuff like or medieval. I'm just gonna do video game. So then what you do is the one green flag clicked forever. We're just gonna play the sound until done. And one thing is, if you don't want this animation there, one thing that you can do is this is what's actually making the bricks. So what we can do is we can just take that out. We'll go to my blocks. We'll make a new function, spawn bricks. This is so that we don't have the animation there and we can just start playing. Then we'll add two inputs, X and Y. Make sure to click run without screen refresh. Okay, so once we have this done, we'll just put this in here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna write, this is so that you can easily change how the arrangement is if you don't like it. We're gonna write 30 minus 18. And then we're gonna put X right here and then Y right here. And it'll still do the exact same thing, but it just won't have that in. So again, this part is completely optional. So, see. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Keep coding, keep watching.